If Trump had been in charge during World War II, this column would be in German. Look, I've spoken to Chancellor Hitler and he wrote me this beautiful love letter. Adolf did. I call him Adolf because we're very close, okay? We're, like, friends. We're friends. So I talked to him and I said, Adolf, you're doing a very good job, you're making Germany great again, it's really good. And he told me you're doing, a great job too, you're the best president. You have very good genes, so we're very close, and I think this whole thing with the Germany, it'll be over by April, it'll be very quick and easy, wars are easy to win. He's really, and the mainstream media they won't say this, but I'm saying it, lots of very smart people are saying that Adolf is good actually, maybe the best, he's doing very good, things. The Poles, you don't see it on the news, they're very happy, Adolf is getting very high marks from Poland, from France, even, from, like, Japan, very high marks, some of the highest, maybe ever. Edit, thank you for the gold. But please donate to Biden or a down ballot candidate instead, we need every edge we can get this November. It's true. Republicans supported Hitler in the 30s. 1/10 still supported him in *1942. Some background. https://time.com/5414055/American Nazi Sympathy Book/ https://www. Thaguardian.com/world/2004/sep/25/USA. Second World War. His ancestor fled Germany to avoid serving in WWI, the Imperial German Army. In that light, the current detritus that is Trump kind of makes sense. https://en. Wikipedia, org/wiki/Frederick_Trump, https://en. Wikipedia, org/wiki/Frederick_Trump. Edit, I was wrong, he didn't do it to avoid WWI, it was much earlier and he did it to avoid conscription to the Imperial Germany Army. He was then banished from Germany as a result. Trump would have helped with the blockade of Britain in the hopes he would drive some Scottish golf resorts out of business. Hawaii was not a state at the time of Pearl Harbor, so I imagine his response to Hurricane Maria would have been his model. How many brown people live there? Give them some paper towels and blame the governor. Remember when McMain actually joked with Obama and defended him at one of his own rallies? Hawaii wasn't even a state at the time. You think he would have brought the entire country together to help some island in the Pacific? Trump compared the virus to a war, posed in front of Lincoln, and then surrendered unconditionally. *Der Orange Farben Mann ist ein Idiot ohne Rückgrat. Deleted. If Trump was in charge during the Civil War, Obama would never have been president. Unless you are in the West. Then it would be in Japanese. Open website. Select your plan. Free. Since you are from EU, we are forced to inform you blah blah blah. Enter. Do you consent to data tracking? Disagree. Please modify your content tracking settings. Off, 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 off. Enter. Select your plan again. Free. We are sorry, this content isn't available in your region. Democracy dies in darkness. If Trump was president during WW2, he would have united all of the Allied and Axis powers against the United States. A possible scenario, Herr Hitler has agreed to buy American coal. He is a true friend of America. If we didn't do any testing, we would have very few cases. Staggering. Most incompetent president in US history. Can you imagine how these protesters would react if they were drafted? They are literally being told to stay home and be safe, as opposed to here's some boots, here's a gun, get home safe. What do you mean, do you have a choice? If anyone but FDR had been president, that would have been likely. He had to drag the US kicking and screaming into doing the right thing. If Japan had been patient, things could have been very different. LOL, if Trump had been in charge, America would have been an Axis power. Yeah, but not because he failed to stop the war/invasion, but because he would have sided with the Nazis. If Trump was in charge in WW2, the U.S. would have been Germany's ally. Deleted. What has happened to the news? If people like radical conservative Trump had been in charge of more countries, we'd see more dictatorships all around the world. Any leader that not only lies and spews propaganda every day, demonizes the press, obsesses about his image and thinks about how to cheat/win and only help his friends will never create a first world democratic nation. Funny that his base is all about ma freedoms when people like Trump would never have built a country freedom. His type are a threat to it. If Trump had been president in 1941, he would have negotiated with the Japanese for exclusive rights to build hotels in Tokyo and then vetoed the declaration of war. WTF is this nonsense? There are some very fine people on both sides. Lots of people are saying it, the Third Reich isn't so bad. This is a stupid article. This isn't politics, this is tabloid drama. I thought this sub was supposed to be for news, but instead it's filled with non-constructive anti-Trump rally posts. Got real old a long time ago, there's no discussion to be had here. Comparing the United States to the plight of Jews during World War II? Absolutely ridiculous and a privileged, offensive notion. There are a lot of issues in our country, however the struggles we face are so much smaller than the mass genocide and persecution faced during that time. Please, check your privilege. Alternative history is the dumbest way to dunk on a politician. Trump would have taken a cushy job mopping the floors at the factories with the rest of the women. Hitler's puppet. Trump would have been licking Hitler's German ass. To be fair, there were some very fine people on both sides. America's Hitler. If Trump does anything productive, it will be making sure the Republican Party loses all its credibility, as if that hadn't already happened. Trump would never have been in charge during WW2 because real patriotic Americans would have never voted for him. Maybe you Americans wouldn't have been so stupid then. It'd still be written in English because Hitler would have been Trump. The people at that time were hit hard by the global depression and morally defeated from WW1. They flocked towards nationalism and ignorance as a way to push their pain onto others. Americans were victorious in WW2 and Americans will be victorious in 2020. The Nazi cult who call themselves Republicans are the minority of people living in the United States. Let's make that known in November. The Plot Against America is a good book and now a mini-series. Check it out. What a ridiculous, delusional article. By the time the USA entered the war, the Germans were already broken. They had thrown too much against the Soviets with too great of losses. The USA entering the war hastened the end, but they did not defeat the Nazis, and it's irresponsible for such a prominent paper to publish something so historically inaccurate. If they had argued the column would be in Russian, then they would have a better leg to stand on. If the war had gone on longer, Europe would have been utterly decimated, and unable to hold back the Soviets if they had decided to march across what the Nazis destroyed. But this idiotic claim that the USA won WW2 needs to stop. It's nonsense, and dismisses history for the sake of delusional flag waving. Trump would have started a Telegram, Twitter, battle with Japan's emperor in 1940. Probably would have called him Little Slanted Eyes. He would spend most of the time talking trash to Japan. He probably would have ended the oil transfers like Roosevelt did to Japan in order to piss them off even more. Early on he would probably say very nice things about Hitler. But eventually will change his tune as the Poles would change and Americans changed their tune on Hitler. He would be having epic battles with local newspapers about how they're fake news. But the moment Japan launches the Pearl Harbor attack, Trump will probably lose his mind and go fanatical. We would have been in an all-out war attacking every island and every nook and cranny on our way to Tokyo. And the moment the atomic bomb became available, he wouldn't even think twice, he would have dropped it on Tokyo, Hiroshima, Nagasaki, Berlin. and when all the dust has settled and it was time to sign the peace treaties, he would stroll out in a military uniform waving to the crowd. Yes, a crowd. He would demand a crowd of spectators be there at the peace treaty signing, along with any photography and all the newspapers.